Hello everyone, Carlos Flores back on basics. Man, it seems like this week I'm on location, different places, but that's okay though. You know what? Human beings need to adapt. We all need to adapt, and that's what I'm doing. I mean, I'm here behind another setting. I like it. I kind of like it. There's a lot of light, so you can see me at my brightest. You can see my hair just growing. You know, it's like it just reminds me of my dad. That's one of the things. This haircut right now reminds me of. May he rest in peace. Um, so, before we begin this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel at Back on Basics 9985. Hit the notification button so you can get notified of any new video that comes on board. If you have a topic, if you have a suggestion, if you have a comment, if you have a feedback, put it in the comment section. And I'll be happy to give you my take on any of those. If you want to connect with me on social media outlets, by all means. On Facebook, you can search for me, Carlos Flores Jr. On Instagram, on X, and on Threads, you can type in at Back on Basics. And on WhatsApp, you can type in at Back on Basics 9985. So, let's talk about adaptation. You know, adaptation is kind of like it's kind of like human beings at their best. Why? Because we don't give up, right? You know, just about an hour back, I was just watching the game, watching the Raiders. I know they lost again. I mean, hopefully next year. But you know, I was thinking too much. I was thinking that how am I gonna adapt so that way I can see the things that need to come my way, not just from home, but also from my job as a special education teacher. How can I support my students the best way possible? How can I optimize my time? There were so many questions. I mean, when I think, it's like so many things come out of my head, so many questions come out that it's amazing. I actually have to write them down, because if I don't write them down, then I'll probably answer one of them, and the other ones I'll like all human beings, I forget them. So I was looking at things in a negative way. I was looking at adapting, but I was looking at adapting in a negative way. It's life, right? Life happens. You have to realize that life happens anytime. Adversity, risks, mental fog, right? Imbalance. You're either held back in the past, or you're moving forward to a future that hasn't happened. I mean, there's so many things that can distract us from being mind, body, emotional balance. And that's one of the things that we don't want to do. We want to be balanced. We want to be able to move forward. We want to be able to do the things that we want to do. But look, roadblocks, right? Unexpected things that come up. Different people that, try to bring us down. So here's what we do. Remember that saying that if life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. I mean, again, it's all about being human. It's about accepting. It's about accepting who you are. The more you accept who you are, the more you're going to be able to adapt to different things. You're going to be able to adapt to people trying to put you down, trying to sabotage the success that you're doing, or maybe unfocusing you, because it is what it is. That's what human beings do. And I know I sound negative, but what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to give you the things that people go through from day to day to day. And I want to give you suggestions. Again, right? Take time for yourself. Make sure that you're balanced. Make sure that you do the things that you do. Again, and some of the things that I do, I mean, from time to time, I do deep breathing because, ladies and gentlemen, it wasn't because the Raiders lost. It was more because of something that happened. It wasn't major, but it just threw me off a little bit today. I mean, it might have been the rain that was going on. It might have been just the meetings that I've had, and so I mean, it's so I did deep breathing for about 5 seconds, and then out. In for about 5 seconds, and then out. And you know what? When I was able to calm down, I was able to refocus myself. I had a conversation with my mom right after I did the breathing exercises. And and we had a good conversation. I know it's not the perfect conversation because things are where they're at for a reason. And that's one of the things that she remind me of, that things are where they're at for a reason. It's one of those things where we need to keep an eye on our journey. We need to make sure that we're balancing ourselves. Do the activities that we want to do and the activities that we have to do. For example, right? Remember what I said, 3 to 1, right? 3 activities that you like doing, 1 activity that you have to do. That's my ratio. It's because it's true. How are we going to move forward? By adapting, by moving on from adversity, by moving on from negativity, by making sure that we're in the here and now. Because, ladies and gentlemen, with the holidays coming, with the weather being so gloomy in some parts and extra gloomy in some parts, New York, I heard a couple of weeks -1. Whoo! I can't relate. I mean, I've never been anywhere close to 0 degrees Fahrenheit, and -1. Holy cow! I mean, there's so many things that makes us unique as human beings, and one of the things that it makes us unique is adaptation. Again, if life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. If life throws you a curveball, you make sure that you adapt and you hit it out. If life slows things down, take advantage and adapt to it. I know I was talking to one of my favorite family members. I know you're watching. And we were talking about silence, because a lot of people hate silence. A lot of people just can't stand silence. You hear this? Silence. A lot of us cannot. A lot of us have to do something in order for us to feel like we're alive, in order for us to do that. The thing that I would recommend, ladies and gentlemen, it's embrace the silence. Embrace the silence, because you know what? Silence can actually get you focused. Silence can actually get you in the here and now. Silence can actually quiet your mind, because if your surroundings are quiet, your mind follows. And if you have to, deep breathing exercise, 5 seconds, and exhale. Do it about 3 to 5 times. If for some reason, you can't stand silence, raise it up a little bit. Put some instrumental music, a little bit of instrumental music, and put it at a low tone. Don't make it so that way you can jam to it. It's enough that can focus your mind, so that way you can get past the silence. Silence is okay. As an introvert, silence is my best friend, because a lot of the times I stay silent. Whenever Whenever something happened and I'm thinking, I'm silent because I'm trying to focus my mind, my body, and my emotions. And it's amazing. Silence is kind of like a superpower. And being able to accept silence is a superpower. And so again, when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. When life gives you adversity, gives you negative people, gives you challenges, you adapt. Remember, you adapt. But in the meantime, as you're going through your journey, what I would recommend again, 3 to 1, right? Three activities that you enjoy, that you want to do, one activity that you have to. 3 to 1. You know, some of my favorite activities to do is watering the plants, feeding the cats. It's crazy, isn't it? Making sure that that everybody's okay in my family, making sure that people at work are okay, connecting with the kids that I work with, because you know what? Sometimes they don't have a father figure, or they don't have a weird old crazy uncle, and so I built so many bonds at the school that I work with. Some kids yell at me from across the school. Some kids yell at me or run up to me and give me a hug. And these are boys sometimes, because I'm gonna make a video, uh, maybe next week, on the importance of being a boy and a man, because we need to think about that. We need to make sure some of these boys are starving for positive attention, are starving for a pat on the back and at a boy and at a girl. And it's not just the boys, it's the girls as well. And it's not just for dads, but it's also for moms. Because in our world where being like this on our phones it's becoming uh uh it's becoming the norm. We need to unplug. We need to look at our kids, our nieces and nephews, our cousins, our family members in the eyes and say hi. I can connect with you via the phone, right? I can connect with you like this, but I want to connect with you like this. Why? Because a lot of the times what happens is all of our chemicals start they start signaling the brain that things are changing inside. And that's because we're either happy, or we're trying to adapt, or we're hopeful, or we're moving forward. So it's amazing the things that we do. So let me do this. Look, I did this before. I actually read one of my poems. I'm gonna read the same poem, ladies and gentlemen, because it actually talks about us being broken. I mean, and you don't have to call yourself broken. You don't have to call yourself, uh, you don't have to call yourself anything that you don't want to call yourself. But you know what? We're not perfect. I know I'm not perfect. I know that I'm not perfect. And so I did this poem for a high school student 3 years ago at one of the high schools that I worked at, and it's called Broken. So it says, at times I'm not sure how I got here, but I am broken. Life has included terrible events, so I am broken. My dreams don't often make sense because I am broken. I watch people around me act as if everything is fine, but they are broken. My parents tried their best to raise me to be respectful, even if I am broken. My education has taught me how to deal with being broken. One of my life goals is to make sure people know it's okay to be broken. I am the person in front of you that will support you when you feel broken. It's okay to be broken. And again, that's what I'm saying. If life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. I know this video has been a little bit longer than my recent videos, but I wanted to make sure that I connect with you at a human level. And it's not that I'm not connecting with you at a human level in the other videos, but I want to make sure for you to look in the mirror and say, I'm okay with the way I am. I am okay with the way I think. I am okay with the way that I adapt. It's okay not to be perfect. I mean, honestly, ladies and gentlemen, if it wasn't for our imperfections, life wouldn't be colorful. Life wouldn't be exciting. Our imperfections are the things that get us into trouble sometimes, or sometimes they make it fun because you're dealing with others. So, subscribe to my YouTube channel at Back on Basics 9985. Hit the notification button so you can get notified of any new video that comes on board. Remember, don't try to be perfect. Nobody's perfect. I mean, no human being is perfect. Let's say that. But don't. The more and more you try to be perfect, the less and less you will become. And remember, adapt and live and enjoy. See, I've been smiling throughout these videos because this is one of my favorite videos to make. Till next time, Back on Basics.